You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
I don't think you guys walk away from this.
You just make sure people know what happened here today.
Oh, all right. Give it to me.
The following
contains hold on. I fucked up. There we go. All right.
The following contains offensive language and spoilers. Listener discretion is advised.
Fuck it up now. Fuck it up now. Fuck it up now. Fuck it up now. The fall of society. I just that's the move. That move should have got it to go. Anyway, welcome back. Boop. Okay, welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerds the Bully. My host Leroy, aka you know how long I've been waiting for this. Woo, I'm gonna make a name for myself with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Break Dances with Wolves.
Oh, that was your theme. Got you. Okay, I didn't know that's where you're going with that. Okay. Yeah, and we're back with the episode. And Eli told you I'm gonna mess it up, but we went ahead and went with it anyway. And we'll come back with the episode. So you kind of gotta know what we're gonna start with this episode. Yes, a theme thumbnails what we're gonna do, but we're also going to start with the Olympics. The Olympics, because it's over with now, or at least it's about to be over with. I don't have been keeping that close up with it, but it's about to be over. So just want to do a quick recap about everything that happened this weekend. Not everything. We're not gonna go through the whole thing, but Eli, I do want to hit some highlights, some quick highlights.
Okay.
I'm gonna do my top five takeaways from the Olympics. Mine, not the world, mine. So, for instance, number 5, this guy. So,
is this the guy who got his dick caught in the way? Oh no,
not that guy. I just thought that was funny as hell. That's why I did that. No, I was not gonna post the guy that got his dick caught in the thing, even though that's hilarious. But at the same time, did he lose or did he really? Because I feel like if you did that, you really won in life. You lost the battle, but you won the war.
My pole was in the way of the pole.
My dick cost me a fortune. Damn you! Anyway, that was number 4.
Next time, I would just use just my dick to pole.
Just my dick, just pole off that. Number 4, whoever this is, Eli, we need to.
Oh damn! I need to watch the Olympics.
Who this is?
Looks like I should be watching the Olympics.
Right. You know what? That guy was pole vaulting. He must have saw her race first, and that's why he lost. That's what happened. Oh man. Number 3. You already know my number 3. We already talked about this. The Turkish John Wick.
Oh yeah.
We already know this guy. We already know this guy is an assassin that just happened to just walk in there, just got to do that, just get some extra paycheck. Whatever. Even though the Olympics don't get paid, but they get paid. We know what they do. So yeah,
Wheaties. They get that Wheaties money.
The Wheaties box and a free free trip to Paris. Even though he probably always go to Paris to do Assassin's Mission all the time anyway. So yeah, hold on before let's see what we got here. Oh, here we go. Jakey Poo.
Oh yeah, Jake in the hizzle.
You know what? Jake's gonna know the answer. Jake, we have a query for you. We need you to find out who this is. We don't know. We're trying to find out. All we know, she was in the Olympics. I don't know if she won, but we'll find out.
She's a winner in my book.
She's a winner in my book, just like the pole vaulting guy.
She just reeks of victory.
Right. All right. Number 2. No. Oh, hold on. Oh, what you got for me, Jake? Oh, Jake knows. I bet Jake knows.
Oh, he already knows. He's watching it right now.
Here for Snyder. Yes, you are. Jake. See, Eli is the only one here that's not a card-carrying cult member. But that's okay. Anyway, number 2, the U.S. men's basketball team. The reason I put them here because they won, and they pretty much put like the best of the best of the best in America they can get. And they actually call, and since it's a comic book podcast, the name of the team they use this year is the Avengers. The official name is the Avengers. Yeah. So my thing is this: they call themselves the Avengers, but I mean, all they did is play basketball. They didn't fight aliens or no shit like that. You know, like their biggest threat was a 7-foot Serbian. Yes. Now, Eli, you may not believe me, but this guy is the best basketball player on the planet. Okay. And they literally assembled the Avengers just for him. He's Thanos. Everybody's scared of this guy. So next time your internet crush asks you what you look like and you tell her you're built like a basketball player, you're not lying. You can tell the truth. So that's number 2. And what's number 1? I think we know what number 1 is, Eli. let's go back to it. Let's see. I fucked up again. Anyway, right there. That's number one. Eli, how did we get here? How did we get here? I understand breakdancing should have been a sport a long time ago. People don't understand it's a sport, but it's a sport. But why is this the competition?
Yeah, that was that I was not expecting that.
I was not expecting that either. I mean, did they not find anybody else that they said at the last minute? Because I know guys down the street that could have did better than that. You know,
not only was like that the dance, but the music too. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, you know,
Eli, let's be honest. They
I'm way out of it. Yeah, either that or I'm like so out of touch with the.
No, you're not. Eli, you're not. They gentrified breakdancing. That's what it is. If you have China and Australia jumping into breakdancing, that's what's going on right there. And how did we not win? How did the United States not win? How did we not send a crackhead over there in Paris and just Harlem shake his ass to victory?
Yeah, where the fuck was Crazy Legs? You know, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, we invented it. That's what and we can't even get our guys over there. Hold on, let me see what Jake did. Let's see if Jake got an answer for us.
I can't
know
the
gymnastics girl who
got the cheese.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Jake. Honestly, Jake, I forgot about that. Yeah, the gymnastics girl with the cheese ball. I forgot about that one. But yeah. I kind of forgot. I would just briefly look. I was like, okay, it's weird, but not weird. I may be giving up too much information to myself, but we're gonna keep going. All right. But yeah, that's all we got right now. So yeah, break dance is going on right there, gentrification, break dancing like that. And you know what, Eli? You know why I like the Olympics? It's because for the last 2 weeks, we've all the world has pretty much been on this one accord. Nobody's been arguing, nobody's been saying crazy shit. Nobody's been at war with each other. Everybody has been pretty much rooting for the team, and it's all been fun and games. So for 2 weeks, you can almost say the world had peace. It's pretty cool. Now that it's over with, we're gonna go back to the same bullshit we had before. So now everybody's complaining, and a lot of people complaining about why we're sending all these black athletes to represent America when they talk all this shit about us and police brutality and reparations, stuff like that. Y'all don't want to send us. I mean, you don't have to send black. You can send an all-white basketball team over there and take on these guys and get destroyed if you want to complain how we do things. So yeah, because that guy's gonna eat your ass alive if you send over, blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guys that can't dribble. So yeah. So that's all I got. Olympics over with. It was a fun event. I had fun. It was watching it. Some classic events that happened through there and memeable moments that came through there. So yeah, I appreciate it. Can we move on to the next part of the podcast? I know Eli is muted, but you just unmuted yourself. So Eli's favorite part of the podcast. So before I go forward, I do want to make a disclaimer for those that don't follow this podcast. There are 5 things on this podcast that are off limits. And I'm going to talk about one of them.
Well, they're more suggestions. We don't follow any of them.
They're more suggestions. Let me run down the list. One of these days, I'm going to make a graph because I keep forgetting sometimes. I know Will Smith is on the list. Zack Snyder is on the list. Star Wars is on the list. Anime is on the list. And there's a 5th one that I can't remember right now, but I'm pretty sure we're going to say
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter's on the list. Yeah, the thing I always talk about.
Yeah.
But
and we talk about all that shit.
So. You're right. Even though we try not to go crazy. But one thing we're going to do today is talk about Zack Snyder because Zack Snyder made another movie. Not only make another movie, he made a Snyder cut of another movie.
He made another movie again.
Yes, he made another movie of a movie he already made.
He keeps making his own movies, remaking his own movie.
Right. Because he was advertising this movie while his other movie was already out. This movie's about to come out. Wait till you see the Snyder cut. That's a year away. So yes, I decided to watch the Snyder cut. Now here's the thing about it, Eli.
I made this movie. It's gonna suck, but wait till you see the real version of the movie.
Right. That's not a way to advertise a movie. So yeah. So before I get into the review of Eli, I do got to set some things up now. Like I said, for those who don't know, this is actually 2 weeks ago, Zack Snyder dropped the director's cut of Rebel Moon 1 and 2, both at the same time. So he made 2 parts of his movie, dropped them in, so it's they dropped at the same time. So both these movies added together, 1 and 2, director's cut, is 6 hours. 6 hours of movie time. That's why I didn't really
take that, Scorsese.
Right. So that's why I didn't do this last week, because I tried to, Eli, and like I said, yes, I know me and Jake are both we're card carrying members of the Snyder Cult, but even 6 hours is a little bit taxing for me. That's a little bit past my threshold, even for Zack Snyder.
Oh man,
Now,
they're gonna vote you off the island, man.
I know, man, for blasphemy for what I'm saying right now. So the thing is, I got through the first one. And I was like, whoo, that was 3.5 hours alone for the first one. And I was like, and here's the thing, the day I watched it was the last day of my subscription on Netflix.
Oh, damn. So you were under the gun.
I was under the gun. So it was 3:00 in the morning. And I finished watching 3.5 hours of Rebel Moon Part 1. And the Rebel Moon Part Moon started again. And I thought my script was about to cut off because I was like at 3:00 in the morning, but it kept going. Rebel Moon Part 2 started playing. I was like, whoa, okay. So if I watch this right now, I don't have to renew my Netflix subscription. I can just cancel this, be done with it. I fell asleep, Eli.
Oh, damn. I thought you said, I took a bump. I got
right.
ready to do this shit.
I tried to stay awake, but that was I got through like the first 30 minutes of Part 2 and I passed out. And I was like, damn, I woke up the next morning. I had to pay the subscription. I like, shit.
Damn.
Yeah, man. So I had to pay the subscription. So I paid. Because for those who don't know me, when I don't watch a app or subscription app, I cut the shit off. Like I just let it go. And then I'll renew it when it's time to watch something else. So yeah, so I decided to renew it again to watch the second half of Rebel Moon. And I got it completed. And that's what I'm talking about right now. So what do I think about Rebel Moon Director's Cut? Let me start with Part 1. Now, Eli, I will tell you this. Part 1 is better. It's an improvement. Okay. It has better pacing. The characters that I didn't know before, I know their name now. Not saying I cared about them, I just know their name now. That's all. Which is an improvement from what we had before. There's actually characters that like almost like cameo in the Part 1, like the verse version of it. They got like full fleshed out storylines and stuff like that. Like, okay, that was actually a main character in this. I wasn't expecting to be a main character. You find out more about them. The action scenes are more spread out. Like I said, it's 3.5 hours. They got whole full scenes, like 30-minute scenes that were cut from the original version. And this one. And Eli, I do want to tell you this. After watching the movie, I kind of see Zack Snyder's vision. Kind of. A little bit. Because the thing is, Netflix wanted Star Wars. But he wanted to make a hard R Star Wars. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this was hard R. Language, violence, sex, nudity, titties. It's all here, like out of nowhere. Like that, it's so much violence in it, Eli. Even you would watch this and give a golf clap.
No shit. Well, is it in slow motion though?
It is very much in slow motion, but it's slow motion violence. So yeah. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Hey man, quick question. Okay, well let's see what you got for us. Hopefully it's nothing. Okay. You ever? Can you read that? Oh, Blue. No, on Blue Chew. No, okay, no, we're not advertising now until they pay us. So yeah, all right. But yes, we're going on. So like I said, it's a hard art, Eli. Like in the first version of when you saw Rebel Moon, they shoot with the ray guns and the laser guns, shit like that. And they say, I fall. Not in this one. Their heads get blown off on this shit. Arms fly off and shit like that. They get holes in them and shit like that when they got them lightsabers. They chopping off legs and body parts and shit like that. So it's violent. It goes there. I'm like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this. So this is like hard R Star Wars. And I see what I kind of see. That's what I'm saying. I kind of see what Netflix is doing because they wanted a Star Wars version, but they did want a PG-13 Star Wars version. But the version that's next, clearly the version Zack Snyder was trying to make doesn't work as a PG-13 because he had to chop it up too much. This one, violent, everybody body parts flying all over the place and shit like that. So we need more sex in Star Wars. Yes, there was sex in Star Wars. And the thing is, like I said, and the sex scenes kind of threw me off because I wasn't expecting it because it just came out of nowhere. Because you could tell in the first movie where the sex scene was supposed to go, they just cut around it. This one, you just like, and they're long too. And I'm thinking about it like, did we need the sex scene?
It's a 45-minute sex scene.
Right, like a 45-minute sex scene.
And in slow motion.
In slow-mo. It was a slow-mo. Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, like, did we need a sex scene? But then I started thinking about this, Eli. Do we ever need a sex scene in a movie? I mean, I don't want to sound like a male feminist or bullshit like that. I'm just saying, like, does it ever add to the plot of the story? And I'll be honest with you, Eli, just my opinion in this one. I think the sex scene in Rebel Moon did add to the plot of the movie.
the fate of the universe was left up to these two fuckers.
Right. Now, the reason I'm saying this, Eli, because the reason I think the sex scene worked is because that one of the problems that people have about a whole lot of these action chicks, like Captain Marvel, and I know you can think a bunch of chicks that they always complain about, Girl Boss, Mary Sue's and shit like that. The main thing they complain about is that a lot of these chicks are basically men in women's bodies. Like, they basically behave and everything like men. They have no sexuality about them. They're just determined, stuff like that. They don't care about anything except the mission. So they're basically men, except they just look like Brie Larson, Where this one, when you have a sex scene where her getting it down with a dude and a few dudes at that, you can tell that she has feminine qualities about him. She has a boyfriend in this movie, so it makes her feel more feminine. So it doesn't make her seem like I'm just another action. Because I did almost feel like in the first movie, she just was a action dude in a female's body. But now I feel like that she's just fucking, she's actually feminine, female, stuff like that. So it made me relate to her more. I don't know if I want to say relate to her more, but it made me understand her more. It made her didn't feel like some kind of like superhuman person that can't be killed like that, because she's obviously feminine, Oh, so I did think the sex scene served its purpose in this one. So, what else we got? Like I said, blood, violence, lots of language. The bad guy, like the main bad guy, the Francis from the Deadpool movie, like that, he does way more evil shit in this movie. So you really do hate him even more in this movie, because he does some evil shit that he didn't do in the first movie. Or even if he did it, but they kind of like cut away from it, so you really see how bad it really got. But yeah, he does some evil shit. Trying to think what else. And now part two. Let me talk about part two. Now, part two is where things get dicey, because it's both a better movie and worse movie, both at the same time. Now, when Gomer had This Geeks and Comics going on, like that's how long that other movie came out. When This Geeks and Comics came out, one of the things Gomer was complaining about that the first half hour of part two was that they was all dancing in slow-mo while doing chopping grain or some shit like that. Okay, so in part one, it was, and the one he saw was 30 minutes of them dancing, chopping grain, shit like that. But in this movie, it's an hour of them dancing around, chopping grain and shit like that in slow-mo. So it's really taxing. That first hour, it almost, and that's why I fell asleep. I was like, this, I don't know if I can make it. This is too much for me. I can't.
It's an ASMR video.
Yes, it's like, oh, you really taxed me. And the shit I didn't like, where they got like just doing this lore dump just out of nowhere, something like that. They didn't improve. So it's still it's the way the story told is still bad. It's still not an engaging way they told the story. These characters still not interesting. They just feel like they're action figures, but not real characters. However, that being said, once you get past that first hour and you get to the rest of part two, it is a straight up war movie, which I did like. Like I said, that was my favorite part of the second one. But this one, it's even better. It's even more fleshed out because the pacing is better. The characters jump up more. It's more action and more characterization in the war scene than when they just stand around just talking and shit like that. It's a real battle scene. It may be some of the best stuff Zack Snyder's ever done. This is like I know people put 300 there. I feel like the war scene in this one is on that level. When you finally watch the R-rated version of this one, it's definitely 300 level shit we're looking at right now. So he brought it with that. Like I said, first half of the movie took me out, but if you can make it past that first half, that second half pays off in part two. So I did like that. But here's the real problem with this, Eli, because I feel like I was cheated as a consumer, because I'm watching part one and I'm watching part two, and it's a lot of interesting stuff in a lot of places, but I feel like I was robbed of those moments that I feel like I should have got, because I've already seen the movie. Now, I feel like it would have been more rewarding if I haven't seen this movie and I went in fresh, not knowing what was going on and this. But since I know certain parts about to come up, even though those parts that I did like in the other movies had a bigger payoff in this one, I still feel like I was robbed from, because I didn't get that initial feeling. Like the first time you watch a movie, they took that away from me, because I'm rewatching the movie that I already had. Because if I just sat there and watched this one, I felt like I would have enjoyed both movies a lot better, like a lot more. But right now I'm kind of clouded, because I can't give you like a fresh review, because I'm already reviewing a movie I've already seen. So even if it's a better version of the movie I've already seen. So that's my thing. I just feel like they kind of got me, but I did enjoy it. I don't hate these movies as much as everybody else do. That's just me. I know everybody's this is the worst fucking movies of all time. And be honest with you, I'm not saying you're gonna watch Rebel Moon Part 1 and Part 2, all 6 hours of it, and you're gonna come out a believer and you're gonna be a card carrying member of the cult. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a better version than what we got before. It is a better movie. I enjoyed myself, I entertained myself. Like I said, if you want a Star Wars ripoff, you can do worse. It's a fine Star Wars ripoff. You know, especially since it's longer, you can really tell the stuff he ripped off. Like it's even more evident in this stuff. And I didn't have a problem with it. I was cool with that. What do we got here? Y'all covering Watchmen animated movie coming out next week? I'm not. No. I'll do it when it comes on.
I
HBO
vaguely
Max.
remember that.
Plus, we've already read the comic, so it's like, yeah.
Is it just based on the comic?
No, it's definitely the comic.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not like a kid. It's not like a continuation, like the HBO show, where it's like it's just a comic.
It's just a comic. Yeah, they just make the comic into a cartoon. Yeah, so I'm like, why? But here's the thing: why I don't like that, because in general, the same thing with that Christ on Infinite Earths. Like we didn't review that also. What they're doing is taking comics we've already read. They're just redoing them beat for beat with shitty animation, because DC's animation gets shittier and shittier by the year. They used to be awesome. I don't know what the fuck they're on right now. So why would I watch something I've already watched with shittier animation and bad voice acting when I've already read the comic and I already have the voice acting in my head? I already know what's going to go on. So it's like, and plus we already have a movie that was pretty much a beat for beat.
Zack Snyder.
Also. Zack Snyder. Yeah. So it's
except
just like
no squid.
Yeah, except no squid. Right. So I feel like there's no reason for us to review that, because Eli and I have read that book cover to cover. You know, if you haven't read it, we recommend it.
Analyze the shit out of it.
We analyze the shit out of it. I think Eli, did you rate it number one, or did you have another book number one?
No, I think I put Dark Knight before
Dark Knight,
okay. Number one. Yeah,
classic. Also, me and Gomer put Watchmen like number one all time. Dark Knight, yes. Honestly, it's those two. It's those two. It's everything else. Yeah. So long answer short, no, Joe, we won't. What else we got? Sir Batman show animation. Jake, where have you been? We talked about that.
We talked that last week's show. Right. We did like an hour on that, just on the show.
Let's not chastise Jake. He has a life, you know.
Yeah.
All right. So that's my thing. So I've done my review. I think I've said all I need to say about it. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend it to watch. It is there. You don't have to watch it in all the 6 hours. You don't have to do that. You can piece it up. You can watch it. Okay, I've watched this. Let me go. This is a good time to cut it off and go somewhere else. Or watch one of them, come back a week later, watch the second one. I think, if you're into this sci-fi shit, I do think the lore building is a little bit better in this, because I thought that's number too much lore. But I think the lore building, for instance, there's more lore building in this movie than it was in the first one. For instance, this chick wasn't in the first version of it. She was, but she wasn't. So in the first version of it, like Cora goes in there and she's trying to destroy the ship, and she just puts like a detonator on her head and just blows up in its head. But in this one, she puts a detonator in her head, and that motherfucker stands up. Like she's like some kind of space god or some shit. She's like, yes, you kill me, my other people are coming for you in part 3 or 4 or whatever like that, So I'm like, it freaked me the fuck out. I'm like, what the hell, So yeah, like I said, I talked about it. All hail Snyder.
Slap a score.
4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. Which I think I gave the other ones lower than that, but I'm gonna give this a strong 4 out of 5 for all 6 hours of it, just to put together. So cool. I think it's fair, All right, can we move on to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
All right, Eli, it is on you now. We're gonna talk about your favorite topic.
Oh yeah,
Disney.
Oh yes.
Yes, imagination. All right. So you wanted to talk about D23. For those who know what D23 is like this annual celebration they have where basically Disney just dumps a whole bunch of trailers and hypes up the shit they basically have coming for either the end of this year or next year. I know they did that at E3, but E3 is more like an appetizer. This is the meal. This is the main course meal. So I'm gonna let Eli talk for a minute while I share the link. I didn't get a chance to do that.
Well, so did you watch any of it? Any like the announcements or
no? Because when you sent me, I was setting up this stuff.
Oh, No, I mean, I like full on watched like the whole panel or anything, but I just saw some of the announcements and I saw some of the, the leaked footage. That they dropped some more footage of Fantastic Four. They dropped the Ironheart trailer, leaked footage. Like again, this was leaked footage.
Yes, I did know about Ironheart.
Yeah,
I'm curious, but here's the thing, Eli. Like you said, also Fantastic Four, Ironheart. That's another one that dropped. Captain America. I'm trying to avoid that stuff. That's what I'm trying to do. Here's the thing. I'm sold on that stuff. So all they're doing just sports stuff. And I know they got to dump all this leak trailers and they got to do press junkets and all stuff like that. And more sports. But by the time I get to the actual movie or the TV show, it's already been spoiled for me. Oh, this person's already in it. That person's already in it. So I'm trying to like Riri, Ironheart. You ain't got to sell me on that. I'm there day one. So
yeah,
I want
Ryan
to go
Coogler. Yeah, Ryan Coogler's like producing the show. Shuri's in it. I saw Shuri in it.
Yeah,
so it's part of the Black Panther.
I didn't know Shuri was in it.
Yeah, part of the Black Panther lore universe.
So I'm trying to go in as blind as possible and just enjoy the show. That's all. But I know Disney has to sell this stuff, so they got to show it to people and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on your toes.
Yeah, and that was all like leaked footage, like that. Okay. Most of that shit was leaked. The only thing that they officially released was the Skeleton Crew trailer.
Okay, so that's the official release. Yeah, that's online.
Yeah. Now this is the next Star Wars show.
Now, I didn't see the trailer, but I do understand the concept of the show. I know who's in it. I know Jude Law's in it. I know the concept. So
yeah. So I watched this trailer. Now they released some like images like a week or two ago, and I'm like, I looked at those images. I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me. And then I watched this trailer.
Honestly, I thought it would be for you.
And then I watched the trailer and I'm like, wow, I'm a little intrigued. It did look interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the Goonies, but in Star Wars.
And I think that's pretty much what they said. What it was, what they're trying to do.
Yeah, it's like kids going on an adventure. Mm-hmm. It very much looked like the movies that I grew up on in the '80s: the Goonies, Monster Squad. Stand By Me, you know what I'm saying? Explorers is another one, E.T., it felt very Spielberg-esque, like a Spielberg feel. It like suburban Star Wars, which I found that concept just like, wow, I never thought of that. But like suburbia in Star Wars, because these kids are like living in like a suburban neighborhood, this like Americana suburbia, but like in the Star Wars universe. And then they go out into the woods. They obviously it looks like they find like a ancient temple, a Jedi temple, and then it turns out to be a spaceship that they get launched on, and then they're lost in space. So they go on this like space adventure, and no, it looked cute. It looked like something for kids. Like I said, it looked like stuff that I grew up on. Stranger Things, it had a very Stranger Things kind of vibe. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I'll probably give it a look and see how it goes. But at this point, after Acolyte, I'm not married to Star Wars like I used to. You know what I mean? Because with the Acolyte, I wasn't like, oh, I gotta watch the next episode. I was like, no, I don't gotta watch it.
You watch it when you watch it, right?
I watch it when I watch it. It didn't hold my attention, and that's how I'm going forward with this now. Like, do I need to like run and if it interests me, then I'll check it out. But if not, then I'm not gonna put forth the energy. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, because I already see the chatter. I already see the chatter online. This show looks like shit. It's trash. Disney sucks. Disney Star Wars sucks. Blah blah blah. It's straight garbage. Blah blah blah. There's that crowd already bitching about it. And you know what? Don't watch it.
That's not the business model, Eli. That's not the business model.
Yeah, but they are. But the thing is, they are going to watch it, so they can bitch about it.
Right. Because they're rooting for Disney to fail.
Yeah, but by watching it, you got to watch it to bitch about it, and by watching it means it gives them more ratings, which means they're going to make more of the same shit that you don't like.
Right.
So that's that's the catch-22 about all this shit, So, yeah, I mean, I watched it. I saw the trailer. I thought it looked cute. It very much looks like for little kids. So, with that in mind, I'm like, okay, this is a kid's show. So, but I'm not a kid anymore. So if I don't like it, I don't gotta watch it.
Right.
So I'll give it a couple episodes and see how it goes. And if I ain't gotta watch it if I don't like it, And it kind of reminded me of I had this discussion back in the Geek Savs days when they were talking about remaking the Goonies.
Mm-hmm.
Back in there was chatter like maybe 10 years ago. Like, oh, they're gonna remake the Goonies. And they were like, why? Because the kids these days, they never saw the Goonies.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. Jake, have you ever seen the Goonies?
He
like,
did.
Yeah, if they don't give a shit about the Goonies. So it's like modern kids aren't going to give a shit. The only people who do give a shit about the Goonies are us old fuckers who saw the original movie back in the 80s. Right. But what is that going to look like?
Stranger Things, and that's
the
same thing. So
yeah, it's pretty much Stranger Things embodies the Goonies and explores and all that shit. But it's like, what is a Goonies remake going to look like for fans of that? What does that look like? Is it going to be a new thing like kids in modern day, with cell phones and they can't get lost in a dungeon. They'll get the GPS. They'll get found. And
right.
You know what I mean? They're gonna end up on a pirate ship. The Coast Guard's gonna show up. So it's like, what does that look like? What does a Goonies remake look like for fans? Or are you making it for the kids these days who don't give a shit about it? So that's where I'm kind of at with this show. Like, okay, this is pretty much for kids, but kids don't watch fucking TV. They watch TikTok. They watch content creators. They play video games. They don't watch this shit.
Right. Their attention span isn't longer. They don't even watch movies.
Yeah, they don't watch movies. Span
isn't longer. Now they'll watch clips of it on TikTok.
They'll watch somebody else. They'll watch Sniper Wolf react to an episode.
Right.
But they ain't gonna watch the episode.
They're gonna watch themselves, right?
Yeah. So it's like, what is this for? Who is this for? And it just made me again question, Star Wars and Star Wars fandom. And as a lifelong Star Wars fan, I just want to like the shit. I want fans to like this shit. I wish we could all just get behind something and like it, but that just doesn't happen these days. Like even shit like Andor, which I loved. There was people who hated it and thought it was boring and shit.
But I don't remember anybody getting outraged or bitching about Andor, which was funny because the people didn't like Andor was like, I didn't like it, and they moved on. But when Acolyte and this come out, they got to shatter from the mountaintops. How much they hate everything.
Yeah. I think Andor didn't get again, I'm not gonna explain why Andor didn't get the backlash that other shows did.
We know why.
We know why. Yeah. Forrest Whitaker showing up in one episode does not count. In Andor.
Right.
But we know why.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I watched the trailer. I thought it looked cute. I thought it looked intriguing. I was like, wow, here's a part of Star Wars that's never been explored, and that interests me. Now, whether or not they can stick the landing and that's another question. If they're going to shove the power of one, the power of many bullshit down our throat again, I don't know.
Right. And they had people talking about that. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I at first glance of this trailer, I was like, wow, I'll check that out. It looks like I said, it looks like Goonies and Star Wars. So yeah, there's that. I think that's about it. Oh, Daredevil. Yes. The Born Again trailer.
Okay.
That I saw the leaked trailer. That shit looks dope.
I didn't watch it. I saw it come out. I was like, let me click off on this shit. But I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
Yeah, it looks dope. I won't spoil anything because it looks pretty dope. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I'm excited for too. That's going to be one of those shows to come out. Nobody's going to bitch about it. Everybody's going to be hope. No, people love it. People's going to love it. Nobody's going to bitch about Daredevil. If you bitch about Daredevil, you're going to look like you're a grifter that's out of touch with everybody. So yeah. So that's going to be the one that everybody's going to be on the board with. Eli, can I say something that I saw on D23?
Good.
Okay. Snow White.
Oh, I heard about.
Okay, I didn't know if you heard about it. I'm not going to talk about it. For those that don't know, God bless you. But those that know, Snow White is the new movie. When I mean the new movie. So move aside Captain Marvel, move aside Little Mermaid. No.
Move aside Acolyte.
Move aside Acolyte. This is the new movie that is going to launch 100 YouTube videos. They already have.
They handed the shit to us. Like right now, here you guys go.
Right.
Hey assholes, here you go.
Come and get it. Hot out the presses.
Yep. Hot plates, just cooking up hot plates of bullshit for y'all.
Here you go. Gonna eat for the next year. So, yeah. So we're not gonna talk. Reason we're not gonna talk about it because
they will.
Because they will. It's going to get noisier, so we don't have to. And it's going to get to the point that we're going to have to talk about it, but we don't have to do that right now. We're going to just enjoy ourselves right now. So that's all I want to say. I didn't know if you knew about it, Eli. I just was. When I saw
I knew about it. I knew about it. And like the Little Mermaid, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck about Snow White.
Right.
Because I'm a fucking dude. And I don't give a shit.
You're supposed to be angry about this shit, Eli.
Do not give a fuck.
You're supposed to be kicking shit over and knocking tables over.
Yeah, my alpha male man titties are all lactating. Yeah, like the rest of them.
Right. Because keep in mind, when the next trailer of this year is going to be nothing but 40-year-old white dudes raging over Snow White.
Yeah, all these tough guys getting all fucking victimized by Snow White and shit. Bunch of pussies.
Oh man, I didn't want to talk. Like I said, we're saving Snow White for later. Another show. But yeah. Shoot. Anything else?
No, that's about it.
I feel like we're missing something. You said, Eyes of Wakanda. We got a Black Panther cartoon coming out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of animation shit coming out. Yeah,
a bunch of animation shit. Spider-Man, Marvel Zombies.
Agatha's coming out.
I'm curious about Agatha for a second. I'm sorry, we've been ignoring Jake. Jake, I'm sorry, man. We asking what's going on, and you telling us what's going on, and we said they're not paying attention. Update that. Yes, there is an update to X-Men 97. I think they may have showed a trailer or just announced some stuff coming on. Who did they say was coming? Sabretooth is going to be in part 2, season 2. Danger's going to be in season 2. If y'all know who Danger is, I'm not going to spoil Danger. Danger is interesting. It's a Josh Whedon creation. So there you go. But yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Don't worry. It's that when that show comes, it's going to be an exciting show. But yeah, that's all we got for D23. I think we move on past that.
You wanted to talk about Agatha, you said?
I did want to talk about Agatha. Thank you, Eli. I'm all over the place right now. Okay, so you know how we raging over, well, not us, but people are raging over Acolyte and Skeleton Crew and Ironheart when it comes out. It's going to get the same treatment. I already know. I'm wondering about Agatha. Are we going to rage over Agatha and kick over tables and chairs? Or are we just going to ignore it?
I don't know. Like I said, it looks like Disney's trying to cash in on the Goth Wednesday crowd. Right. And, who knows? Maybe they might get a pass because it's hot goth chicks.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, what would these asshole YouTuber right-wing grifters, would they rage over Acolyte? Like, why would you rage over Acolyte? Why would you get upset over this? Like, it looks like it's not going to be anything. It looks like some shit they're just going to dump on there. Why not just ignore it? Like, I understand Acolyte and I understand Skeleton Crew because I understand you have this vendetta against Disney and you got to say, but I feel like shitting on Agatha, like, why? Like, it's other Disney shit. Like just wait for Snow White. Like you're gonna get your chance.
I mean, is there chatter about Agatha? Is there
none
outrage over? Okay,
none. Like no one cares. But I just feel like when it is coming out, like I think it's dumb to outrage. Like why?
Unless one of them says something. Unless what's her name?
I think one of them is gay or something. I think one of her people or whatever like that. But
if one of them says something, if Albie Plaza says something that pisses them off, or what's her name? The star. What's her name? I can't remember her name.
Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, her. Like if she says something that rubs them the wrong way, and then that's all they're gonna do.
She's been in Hollywood too long to do stupid shit like that.
Yeah,
I think. But yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, yeah, I mean, I don't plan on watching it. Doesn't look like it's. That's just me. It's a taste thing. Like again, I'm not hating. It's taste.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, will there be 100 outrage YouTube videos like for Acolyte for Agatha Harkness? Because I feel like, why?
Yeah, it doesn't appeal to me.
I feel like there's nothing to get outraged over. It's just
and I'm not hating. It just doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't look like something I'm gonna enjoy. So I ain't gonna watch it. Like Snow White, I know I'm not gonna get into it.
Right, but it doesn't feel like it's on the other end of the spectrum either, where it's something you need to hate either. It doesn't feel like that,
And the whole thing with Acolyte, well, for one thing, I'm a Star Wars fan, and I give a fuck about Star Wars. I like Star Wars. I care about it. So, and I was expecting something way different, and I didn't give a shit about what they were bitching about. No, I had actual critiques, and I had actual issues with the show. That didn't coincide with their bullshit,
Right.
So, yeah. Like we said, you can critique a show without being accused of being whatever ist.
You'll still be accused of it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So, I think we move past that. Can we move on to the Vidja Game section?
Yeah.
Okay, Eli, some things have changed on this podcast that you didn't notice. And I'm so glad you didn't notice, because that means it worked.
Okay,
Let me see
talking about Street Fighter?
No, we're not talking about Street Fighter. Because I knew you were about to click off for a second. No, we're not talking about Street Fighter. What we're actually talking about is that, okay, so notice, and I apologize to you, Eli, and the listeners, and everybody like that, because I've been having like freezing problems with the computer and shit like that. It's just been locking up and stuff like that. I figured out the issue. My keyboard, it was old as fuck. It was like when I first moved here in Jackson, I've had a keyboard. Yeah. So I unplugged that keyboard. I bought a keyboard, but the keyboard I bought was this one. It lights up and all kind of crazy shit like that. And honestly, Eli, it fucks with me. It's too much going on.
It's not another Gordon Gartrell.
Yeah, no, it's official. It's like some name brands like this. It's not like off-brand shit I said. But I'm like, this is what the kids are getting now. It's one of those gaming keyboards that like lights up and shit and like clickety clack and all stuff like that when you're doing that. So I guess that's cool when you're playing Fortnite or some shit like that. But are you actually doing work? Like when I'm trying to do video editing for this podcast, or like, do stuff like that, and all I hear is clickety clack over here, shit like that. And I got all these lights and blue and shit like that. It's a little bit too distracting for me. I think I'm too old for this shit. I think that's just me. I think I need some regular ass Walmart, industrial $10 wired keyboard. I think that's what I need. I don't need all this extra bullshit. Yeah, I don't need all this extra bullshit right here, man. I understand this what the kids want, and it's they got the bisexual lighting behind them and shit like that. I can't do it. That's just me.
Is that your color on the keyboard too? Like you got purple?
It changes. It changes. Sometimes it's purple. Sometimes it's pink. Sometimes it's green. The keyboard colors are fluid.
Boomer vibes. Yeah,
they're fluid.
Gen X, get it right, yo.
Yeah, I'm Gen X, not a boomer. Okay, boomer.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyone before 1990 is a boomer to them.
Right. All right. Can we move on to the next part of the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, the comic book bullies. We're going to talk about comic books, and we're going to jump into it. Eli, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know what you got.
What did I read? Oh, Incredible Hulk number 15?
15. Yes, Incredible Hulk 15. Let me get you loaded up.
Okay. So, Incredible Hulk number 15. Philip Kennedy Johnson, his, the eldest, the like demon that's trying to raise the mother of monsters to, who's been trying to take out the Hulk and resurrecting monsters all over the world to chase the Hulk. Bruce Banner's been on, the run. His companion, the little girl he was traveling with, she got her soul trapped inside like a little doll, so he's been trying to free her. So he's on his way to Vegas, where the eldest is, kind of chilling out, to basically face her down and try to free Charlie, the girl, her soul from this doll. So this episode, This issue, the eldest, this demon lord, it's a girl. She
they're in Vegas.
Yeah, they're in Vegas, and she explains that basically it's talks about this story that happened like thousands of years ago, where there was this searching for like this fallen city full of monsters because he's been cursed. He cannot die. And he was told that if he goes to the city of monsters, he'll get killed there. Okay. So he travels the desert, goes to the city, finds some monsters, and like, yeah, I've come to the city to get killed because I've been.
I think he's still here. Okay. Eli, you still with me?
Turns into like a Hulk monster with horns and shit, and beats the shit out of the monsters. And then he goes around telling the Hulk creature ends up going to everybody else like, hey, flee the city. I'm going to destroy the city, blah, 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 blah. And then meanwhile, one of the demons goes to the eldest and says, hey, some traveler came and fucked us all up. He's like bleeding and dying and on the throne of the eldest. Like, yeah, this traveler came, turned into this monster, a green monster, and fucked us up. And the eldest is like, green, you say? That sounds like they came from the green door. Which means they
shut the green door.
Well, this is thousands of years ago.
Oh,
this is all a flashback. Okay. It's like, oh, well, it sounds like they must have came through the green door, which means they have the power of the one below all. So that was thousands of years ago. Now we come back to present time, and they're like, yep, that Hulk has got that power that I need to basically free the mother of demons and blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of where it ends, and it's interesting, but it kind of dawned on me while I was reading this, because, this whole Philip Kennedy Johnson's, run on the Hulk, it's been sort of like a monster of the week, or a monster of the month, kind of, theme, kind of concept going on. And then we're on this whole thing where now he's about to face, this mother of demons, this eldest. But then we're always getting these like drops of lore, these like flashbacks of sort of folklore. And you know what it's reminding me of?
What's that?
Hellboy. This is basically Hellboy as the Hulk.
Okay.
Because Hellboy was full of that. Hellboy was, every story arc, it was a different mission, fighting some different monster, and it was always a monster pulled back from some ancient folklore of mythology from whatever country, whatever culture. And that sort of grounded Hellboy into the this sort of multicultural, folklore, you know what I mean? That's
right.
What Hellboy was kind of grounded in that mythology.
Yeah, he was kind of like our POV character into that.
Yeah, So I always thought that was cool about Hellboy. And I felt that's what this is feeling like now. That's because we have this issue was just all this ancient folklore, and I forget what they called the Hulk. Like in that story thousands of years ago, they had a name for a Hulk, and it was like I can't remember, like maybe it's a Hindu name or something. I can't remember it though. But it's like, okay, this is like they're grounding the Hulk in some sort of ancient folklore, which I found, okay, this is Hellboy shit, So yeah, I mean, this was interesting. It kind of felt like a little sort of an exposition dump, we're stopping, we're going to take a break and then just tell some lore, so it kind of.
Did they have a guest artist here? Like, was it the same artist they usually had?
No, I think it's the same artist.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it just kind of felt like they slowed down. They took a pause. It's one of those break exposition issues. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5. They haven't lost me yet, but yeah, it just dawned on me. This is basically Hellboy with the Hulk. So
okay,
yeah.
Which not a bad thing. I mean,
no, it's monsters. Hulk fighting, and then again, you can talk. Like Hellboy. I mean, the Hulk probably influenced part of Hellboy.
Right? Because remember that Creature Commandos comic when we didn't review on here. They in New 52 turned that shit into Hellboy. Like Frankenstein was just Hellboy.
Yeah, that was a BPRD. Yeah, they were all werewolves and shit. And vampire. Yeah.
Oh, James Gunn made an announcement that cartoon is coming out this year.
Oh yeah, I did see the trailer to that.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed that there's no werewolf in it.
Is that?
No, it's that weasel.
I never looked at the lineup, so I don't know.
The weasel, that weasel character in it instead of the were. Yeah, like that's in it. I was like, oh man, there's no werewolf, but the weasel's in it. I'm like,
okay. He got to have his brother in some kind of way. So okay. All right. So next book, first book I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. Uncanny X-Men #1. I know, Eli. I know I said I was done.
Yeah, I didn't read after I gave a couple of these new X-Men books a run.
Yeah.
A shot, and
because it's so many of them. They're just cranking them out at this point. Like, why do we have so many books?
I skipped this one, so
I bought it purely out of FOMO, fear of missing out. That's the only reason I got it. So,
all right, well, fill me in.
Okay, so that's going on right now. So, like I said, this is another new book of Uncanny X-Men. Like I said, they just did one 2 weeks ago. So now we're talking about another one. And this book's, like you said, you see Rogue, Wolverine, and Gambit. It's just them. That's the whole book. Rogue, Wolverine, and Gambit. That's them. Which is another reason I got excited about. Like, okay, you're gonna have some X-Men, at least have the cool ones, So let's go to it. Let's see what we got. All right, so the book goes through okay, so we got this chick. So they go to the X Mansion, West Chancellor Mansion. It's been abandoned, it's done, and it's been bought by whoever this chick is, Dr. L or something like that. And she goes into the mansion and basically walks in and she says, okay, tear everything down in the interior here. Because what they're gonna do with the X Mansion, they're gonna turn it into a prison camp for mutants. I kind of think that's kind of fucked up, but yeah, the fact they're doing that. And they got the Cerebro. Now this Cerebro version of Cerebro doesn't exist in the comics. This is strictly like the Bryan Singer X-Men, but whatever. You get the point. They say like tear this shit down too, And it's like, oh, you're prisoners right here. So the very first prisoner they're going to put in this place is here. Who is a prisoner? We don't know. Maybe Professor X. Or maybe somebody else. I don't know. So yeah. So we're going past that. We got Wolverine. He's talking to a guy, and he goes to Mexico because I guess he got a phone call from Rogue, where he just goes to Mexico, and apparently Rogue and Gambit are there, and they're basically on a mission to fight a giant dragon. So this dragon apparently was in Savage Avengers, like one of those issues, like Doctor Strange or Iron Man or Conan or somebody fought that shit. And so now he's just in Mexico chilling. And they're saying that anytime this dragon just sits there and just sleep, and anytime he just wakes up, he decides to eat a few people that's around there, and then goes back to sleep. So they're like, okay, we got to get this dragon the fuck up out of here. So they walk over there, and then an eye opens, and the dragon sees him, and then I guess he says his name is Sotarang. Yeah, Sotarang, the god snake. And it's like, and he basically saying, I know who you are. Like he can read their thoughts and shit like that. The thief, the hunter, and the scared little girl, and all this shit like that. So yeah, they beat the shit out of the dragon. Doesn't matter. Go past it. This ain't usually what I'm talking about. But the thing is, what they find out is that the dragon actually has the other eye of Agamotto. Like Doctor Strange has the other one, and this guy has the other one because Agamotto had two eyes. So yeah. So anyway, Gambit steals the eye of Agamotto from him some kind of way. They don't really show how it does, but it happens. And he makes a deal with the dragon who, like, you get out of here, go to the Savage Land, chill out there for a year, and I'll give you the eye back. He was like, cool. You know what? I'm feeling good. I'll even tell you your future. You're gonna meet your end by something called the Endling. And the dragon flies off. Let's beat the dragon. That's it. So yeah. Oh, and then Rogue is like, ooh, I like what you did right there. Oh, and Rogue can control her powers now. So she's like, so she hops into Gambit's lap, and she's like, Wolverine, you might want to turn away. Or you keep looking. I don't really care what you do. Yeah. And then Wolverine's like, well, that dragon trashed my bike. We'll get it right. So this is them riding around, and they get a phone call from Cyclops. Cyclops telling him, I need y'all on a mission because I'm in Alaska. I can't get there. So Rogue's like, okay, cool. So they take the mission, and the mission is in, and some mutant Dawn Fawn thing gets captured. I don't care. All right, we'll pass that. So, so the mission is in Jackson, Mississippi.
No shit.
Yeah, I looked at I saw the University of Mississippi Medical Center. I'm like, wait a minute, I've been there before. Now, of course, anytime you go to a hospital, it sucks. But yeah, I've been there before. And they go to the children's hospital wing of the hospital. So like, okay, yeah, that's just right up the street from me. So okay, so they go there to the children's hospital. Nightcrawler goes there also. And the thing is, there's this cancer patient kid there that's a mutant, and he really wants to meet them. So that's why they're there. He wants to why he's trying to get better or even sick from cancer. He wants to meet the X-Men because the X-Men are his favorite superheroes. And they go in there, he's got all kind of stuff, all kind of toys and posters like that. He's got that giant X-Men 1 Deadly Genesis thing like that. He like, y'all are cool. He like, damn it, Wolverine. Oh, he like, Wolverine, pop your claws. He like, I can't pop my claws in the hospital, man. But do it. And then and Wolverine talks to the doctor, and he's like, where's his kids? I mean, where's his parents? Like, we sent him home for the day, and Wolverine's like, you might want to call him real quick. So we'll find about that later on. And then the kid sees Rogue. He's like, damn, you hot. And then Rogue internally admitted, like, well, he's not wrong. So yes, if you're a sick kid and you want to eat Rogue, I got no problem with that. Yeah. So and then he's got one of those Grant Morrison X-Men jerseys and shit like that. He's like, he tells Rogue, like, Rogue, you're my favorite. And then he touches it, but like I said, Rogue controller, but he feels it. And that's when the kid says and that's when Wolverine's like, call the kids now, press the blue button, call everybody here right now. Because Wolverine can sense the shit going on with that kid right now. He just didn't tell anybody. And the kid is just mumbling the same shit. The Drago's mumbling like, you have to save them. One is an endling. And the kid flatlines. Yeah, and the kid dies.
Damn.
And it messes Rogue up. Like I said, it says Nightcrawler is there and he is a preacher. He leaves the last rites. And he gets permission from the parents to do that. And he decides to help them on the way. But yeah, Rogue, even though Rogue didn't cause the kid to die because, like I said, she controls the powers, she just is tired of the fact that death always follows her. That's messed up. So she started crying in the middle of the hospital. So she's just like, look, I need to get away. Like, Remy, take me somewhere where nobody can find me. And Nightcrawler's like, well, I'm gonna stay with the parents and help them through their time. Like I said, he's a preacher. So, and Wolverine ain't got shit to do, so he just goes with them. So they go to Louisiana together, like the deepest swamp parts of Louisiana. So they go there. Gambit knows some people that he's there, and they just have a campfire, and they're just talking. They're just really just bonding and talking stuff like that. And
crab boil.
Yeah, crawfish.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Crawdaddy. Because the Louisiana people tear me up if I get that wrong. So basically, they just sit and talk. Okay, so then they talk about the Krakoa age. They're like, we had Krakoa. We were on the verge of utopia. We achieved Xavier's dream. Now what the hell are we doing? Like, we just run around just doing, like, do the X-Men even exist? Should the X-Men even exist? Like, there's no even point to them anymore. So, and like, who's leading us at this point? Like, maybe we should go chill with Cyclops. And remember, Wolverine last year, you're like, nah, you don't want to do that. Do you really want to stay in a house with Cyclops telling you what to do, what to wear, get up and go out like that? I can't do that shit no more. So they're like, yeah, we won't do this shit anymore. And then she even goes to the time where she tried to call Kitty to get it back to X-Men. Kitty cussed her ass out. Kitty was like, look, I want nothing to do with the X-Men. Matter of fact, lose my number. So they're just there. She's just like, look, we don't. So they're kind of like aimless, wandering around, don't know what to do. They're just like, well, we're hanging out and we're friends like that, but we're not X-Men because the X-Men don't exist anymore because Charles don't exist. We don't fuck with Cyclops like that. So yeah. And Wolverine's like, hush. You're like, you don't tell me to hush. Like, no, hush. I smell something. And that's when these kids come out the woods, out the woods to be continued. So
okay.
Yeah, that's,
you don't recognize them?
No, they knew. Okay. We will know in the next issue, or whoever reads that shit. I'm not reading that shit. I'm done. One and done. Out. I just wanted to see, was it something I was missing? I'm not missing anything. It was cool they came down Jackson, Mississippi to do shit, but I'm good. Yeah. Let's see what we got. Fart in my eyes. Sure. Okay. Whatever's your kink. All right. What do we got here?
You gotta pay for that shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's that time.
For free.
Oh yeah. See, Eli, this is what happened. We record at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, comic book bullies after dark.
After dark, right? All right. But yeah. man, 3, man. And the funny thing is because Gail Simone wrote this book. Gail Simone, and she was hyping this book up like, this is my book, this is my X-Men book, I'm gonna do it. And this is what she gave us. Like, it didn't hit. I'm sorry. It didn't hit hard enough to be like, I gotta see what happens in number 2, because I don't give a fuck about those kids in the woods and that half deer farm chick, whatever like that. So yeah, good. Yeah. What you
got? Scarlett number 3.
Okay. Talk to me, like, give me a good one this time. Give us a palate cleanser.
So this is the Energon universe, where Transformers and G.I. Joe are crossing over. And this is the Scarlett book. So Scarlett has been recruited by G.I. Joe to go infiltrate the Arashikage clan.
Okay, let me ask you this. Is she actually a Joe, or they're like
she just joined
her? Okay.
She just joined. Yeah. Okay. Like, this is basically G.I. Joe year 1.
Okay.
You know? And so she just joined. She's going to go, undercover and infiltrate the Ninja Clan, because Jinx, who she's buddies with, has also gone undercover in that Ninja Clan. So she goes to the Ninja Clan, and they're like, yo, you must, in order to join us, you got to, go on this impossible mission that you're probably not going to survive.
Oh, that's some Metal Gear shit right there. Okay, I'm feeling.
Yeah, this is very much Metal Gear. Yes. So she's got to go infiltrate this, basically break into the headquarters of this like rival, Yakuza crime family, and steal back one of their weapons. So that's all this issue is. She breaks into this facility. She jumps into the tank full of sharks and shit, comes out, she's got to fight her way up all the levels, taking out thugs along the way, highlighting her different ways of ass kicking.
See there?
Gets the weapon, blows up the place, and then narrowly escapes. And then in the end, she finally sees Jinx, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't think you were going to make it. You're crazy." He's like, "Yep, I made it." So, and then it says to be continued. They're still like undercover. They got to pretend that they don't know each other, But yeah, so that's all this is. It's just Scarlett kicking ass. It's pretty much it's Metal Gear. She sneaks into the fucking headquarters and kicks ass along the way, and yeah, so it's just highlighting Scarlett and her badass skills. So it was fun. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Hey, you sold me a Metal Gear. So
yeah. That's it is. She's Liquid Snake, Solid Snake, whatever.
One of them. Yeah. Solidus, but
Dave. My name's Dave.
Naked Snake. That's from the Lady Game. Forget it.
Yeah.
All right. So last book I'm going to do is Absolute Power number 2.
I did read this.
You did read this, okay? So you can kind of help me on this, help me break this down. For those who know what happens going on is that the DC universe, all the superheroes are no longer superheroes; they're all powerless. So Amanda Waller is launching this campaign, and she's depowered all of them. And the ones that she hasn't captured, she's trying to capture them. So it's going on right now. And the superheroes are trying to put together a plan to stop Amanda Waller, get the powers back, and free the people that's got there. So yeah, that's going on. So let's see what we got. Let's just jump into this bad boy. Okay. So like I said, they're in. So Amanda Waller is all the superheroes that are now not superheroes going to be depowered. She's built a prison in Gamora Island to transfer this. So if you're not familiar with Gamora Island, it's actually from the Wildcats comic back in Wildstorm from Image. But since they own them now, that's where it is. No, not Wildcats. Stormwatch. Yeah, one of those shits. Anyway,
Jim Lee shit.
Yeah. So Amanda Waller has a list of all the superheroes she hasn't captured yet. She got a list of the ones she's captured, one she hasn't captured, the ones she has captured and locked up her in red, and the ones she hasn't captured are colored. And she's trying to capture them, trying to find out where they are. She don't know where they are right now. Or maybe she does know where they are and not telling anybody right now. So she's like, just put a plan together and let's go get them. And the Brainiac Queen is just like, well, why don't we kidnap the humans that they're closest to and use them as collateral damage or use them as bait? And Amanda Walls is like, no, because those humans are civilians and we don't put civilians in danger. Now, remember, I am not a sociopath. And when she says that, Dreamer and Failsafe, who's a robot, look at each other like, she's not a sociopath. Does she not know the meaning of that word? So yeah. All right. So anyway, Green Arrow is on her team also. He's one of the bad guys. So, and she's basically put a team together. She's like, look, I need Brainiac Queen, I need you to go on a mission. Dreamer's gonna take you there, and you need a way to get to there, but don't worry, I have the man for the job to get you where you need to go. And we'll find out who that man is later on. So right now we're at the Fortress of Solitude, Superman's house, and he's freaking out because his son's been kidnapped and he don't know where his son is. John. Batman's trying to calm him down. Oracle is in communication mode right now because the first thing Amanda Waller did was take out Cyborg, so he's fucking useless, as always. And like I said, so you got the superheroes that haven't been caught all talking together, and one of them was just like, look, we need to put a plan together. We need a team leader to put this shit together. And Aquaman's like, okay, fine. If you need somebody to put a team together and pass out assignments, I guess it'll be. And Mr. like, hold up. This is Superman's house. Let him decide what's going to happen. And Batman's just like, oh, look, if you need a strategist. And Batman just tells Superman, like, look, Supes, you know you suck as a strategist, which is true. Superman sucks at strategy because he relies too much on his own superpowers that he doesn't know how to lead a team of other people because he thinks he can do everything for himself. It's almost a character flaw in Superman. Matter of fact, I think that's a sociological disorder, Eli, like in real life.
Okay.
Like the Superman syndrome or some shit. Like, look it up. Anybody listen to this, look that up one day. I'll break it down one day, but yeah. So anyway, so Mr. Terrific just like, look, since I ran the JSA, I guess I run this team. And Batman's like, you haven't done this enough years. I've done this enough years. I ran teams of time. Like, what teams you ran? And I'm so glad Mr. Terrific didn't bring up the fact that Batman is the reason they're stuck right now because he fucked up trying to outsmart Amanda Waller. So, but he didn't bring it up, which that's the first thing I would have went to. And one of them is like, see, this where we fucking up there. See, this why we shouldn't have banned Just League because we can't even talk to each other without raising our voice at each other. And then when all this argument like that this night, we're like, everybody shut the fuck up. I'm in charge. I'm running shit. The Teen Titans got powers. I'm running Team Titans. I'm saying out assignments. And everybody's like, well, damn. And Batman's like, that's my boy. And immediately, and I didn't know Eli, I haven't been reading Nightwing comics like that in the Teen Titans comics. I didn't know Nightwing had it like this. This big dick energy he has right now walking in the room, So he's pretty much telling everybody. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the Nightwing book, he's being framed. But then the Teen Titans, I guess it kind of, sort of Teen Titans. Yeah, he's kind of leading. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, because he basically just walk in the room and just like, look, I'm in fucking charge, which makes sense because, like I said, the main difference between Nightwing
that ain't the only reason they call me Dick.
Right. But basically, the main thing is that Nightwing is Batman with social skills. That's basically what he is. So basically, he's heading out, and I like he's heading out of Cyber. He basically tell Batman, you said Amanda Waller got a mother box, go get it, go. And Superman, get on the multiverse, see if you can try and find us reinforcements. Black Canary, find Green Arrow. He's a traitor. Find out we need information from him. Wonder Woman, go rescue the person from Gomorrah Island. And Damien's just like, well, let me go. I want to go too. I like breaking in shit. So he's like, yeah, y'all go. And Superman, you got it. So Superman's basically telling him, like, this is my house, the Fortress of Solitude. I've been collecting like weapons and shit over the years, Kryptonian weapons from other planets. Y'all can have them. Go get them. So they just start loading up on alien weapons and shit like that. And also, him and Batman made special Justice League suits also, like, just for this specific occasion, just in case they lose their powers. It mimics their powers. So they, of course. So they prep time. They prep time for this shit. So yeah. And Mr. Riffin just look at this dude like, well, what's your name? My name is Airwave. I have the power of radio. Yep, stop. Come on. You coming with me. Blue Beetle, you coming too. So they go do their thing. And then while somebody's outside the door of the Fortress of Solitude, Superman's just like, I'm still missing my son, man. I don't know what Amanda Waller did to my son. And Aquaman's just like, don't worry about it. Like I said, Amanda Waller hasn't been killing people. She just wanted to depower us. And I'm pretty sure your son's safe wherever he is. And next thing you know, bam, the door breaks in. And it's his son. It's John, but he's like a Brainiac cyborg, Amazo, what the fuck ever. He's been Amazo, and also the Brainiac Queen is there with him. And Superman's like, what the fuck? What did you do to my son? He's freaking out. And You know, he just claps his hand together, you know, slaps everybody away, you know, like target acquired. And then his Nightwing go, okay, enough of this shit. Titans go. I'm like, you see, that's my phrase. So just like Cap got Avengers the symbol, that's his thing. So they go into work, and the Brainiac Queen and Superman, like I said, we just reviewed the House of Brainiac, and Superman's like, how the fuck are you alive? I saw you get blown up on Brainiac's ship. How are you on Earth? He's like, because I'm here to serve my mother, mother Amanda, you know, and here, and she just all those Kryptonian weapons that Superman gave them, she just destroyed them just like nothing, snatches them all up and throws them in the portals that Dreamer made, and then Dreamer just sneaks through that shit, and she's there while all stuff going on, and Batman. So basically, it's like Batman, like, we got to get them back, because if we don't get them back, we kind of don't have a plan, you know. And so Superman's trying to calm John down. It ain't working, you know. Oh, and she depowers Plastic Man and breaks his arms.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucked up. Oh, so we got blasted. They get taken out left and right. Oh, and Amazo with the stealth suit. I think that's the Martian Manhunter Amazo with like that. Like, he sneaks in. They're fucking him up. And Zealot slices him in half. Like Zealot from the Wildcats. She comes out of nowhere, slices him in half. And he just heals. Like, yeah, that didn't work. So, like, damn. So they're blasted. And they're like, damn, this shit is not working. We got to get our folks back. And that's when who shows up? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Flash has a bike, a super speed bike, I guess, with Speed Force, some shit like that. And he had, and Batman's like, fuck this shit. I'm about to send his ass to the Phantom Zone. And that's when Brainiac Queen? Yeah, no, the Amazo, whatever, grabs the Phantom Zone gun, throws it across the room, and he calls Batman grandfather. Batman, like, don't ever call me grandfather, because he made Failsafe made him. And Batman, like, claps his hand together. He's got like Sonic whatever in his gloves and like takes out the Amazo. So yeah. Oh, and they find the Phantom Zone projector. What they do with the Phantom Zone projector is that they make like a fake, a makeshift thing so they can escape. So everybody's get out of here, and Superman is talking to him, and he's like slowly coming back, but he's a trick, and now he's about to get him. And that's when you got Brainiac Queen grabs the city of Kandor. She's like, what the hell is this? Like, this looks familiar, because Brainiac shrunk that shit. So that's what Aquaman is like, in case of emergency, bam, break open glass, because inside the city of Kandor is a bunch of Kryptonians, and when they get exposed to yellow sunlight, they basically turn into microscopic Superman. So now you got thousands of Superman like fucking up on the inside and shit like that. Bam, 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 they're hitting and shit like that. And that's when Brainiac Queen is just like, wait a minute, aren't Kryptonians weak to red solar energy? So she just emits solar energy and just depowers all of the mini Kryptonians, and then traps them again. So like, oh yeah, y'all coming with me. They're like, damn. And Batman's like, damn, that was supposed to be like our ace in the hole. That was supposed to be the thing we were supposed to use the last second, and y'all took that away from us. So that's when Superman's like, well, fuck this. I'm activating the Black Zero protocol, or like that. Basically, he's gonna blow up the Force of Solitude in 10 seconds. So everybody goes through the portal, the Phantom Zone portal that they made. Superman gets snatched up. Brainiac Queen grabs him, and that's when Dreamer is like, okay, enough of this shit. Look, what you did with John is too much, but now I'm not following Man of War too much. I'm coming after you. And she was like, say goodbye, fucker. And before she could say fucker, bam, it blows up. The Force Side 2 completely blows up. Yeah. And that's when Amanda Waller just like, damn, we lost contact with Brainiac Queen. Okay, she must be dead. And obviously Dreamer's dead. So rest in peace to her. And Amanda Waller, like, don't worry about Brainiac Queen. She's fine. She'll be okay. And Brainiac Queen reforms. She just regenerates herself. John is fine, but he's like slowly shaking out of it, and that's when Brainiac Queen like puts him back under. It's like, don't worry about it, since he's got super senses and super sight and super smell. Wherever they go, he'll find them. He's like a bloodhound. So yeah, and that's when she sends Green Arrow to like the armory of the Justice, because they're in the Hall of Justice. She's taking over the Hall of Justice, and he finds an hourglass. He's just like, time's up. Yeah, to be continued. Now, don't ask me what this hourglass means. I think I know what it means, but I don't know what it means. So,
what, Watchmen shit?
No, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I think it's got something to do with Chronos.
Oh, damn.
Or 0 hour. I don't know. I don't think they're going to refer to zero. They pretend like 0 hour didn't exist. I'm going to say Chronos. I think Chronos, but that's what's going on right now. So overall, action-packed issue. like I said, it was a whole bunch of setup on the first issue. So they're going to give you all the razzle dazzle, the special effects, the summer blockbusters, shit blowing up and shit like that. And I appreciate that. Just give us the action. Just give it to us. So yeah. And I'm pretty sure they're going to slow it down for the third issue. But for now, I enjoyed all the shit blowing up and stuff going on. Because now it looks even bleaker than what it did the first time. They had a plan. Brunette Queen said, fuck that shit. Now I don't know what they're going to do now. You know. Oh, also, Eli, I watched like Scott Snyder's thing or Jim Lee's thing. Like, technically, this might be the status quo going forward for DC.
Oh, yeah?
Like powerless, like everybody's powerless. Like, even as this event ends, I think that's where they're going with this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, but what you think? What you think?
No, I enjoyed it. I I'm not reading the tie-ins or anything, but I thought this was fine. I mean, it was a little slow start, with Amanda, explaining everything, but then once you got to the whole fight and, Brainiac Queen showing up and fucking everybody up, I was like, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and plus all the assignments that Nightwing was handing out in their solo books, they're doing this shit. Just like when he told Batman to get the mother box, that's what he's doing in his
Steve. I knew there was.
I didn't pick it up, but
I did see that there's a Batman tie-in this week, and I'm like,
Yeah, he teams up with Catwoman. They go to Corto Maltese to do.
Oh, no shit! Now that does sound kind of interesting.
Yeah, they're going undercover. Not Matches Malone, but they undercover. But yeah.
Okay.
So, but that's all I got. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm booked out. I mean, I read Daredevil. That was fine, but I'm not gonna review it. It was fine. But yeah, I'm booked out.
Okay. Cool. I have no idea what is coming out next week, so I don't know what next show will entail or consist of. Just follow us, we'll find out, because I'm pretty sure some crazy shit will happen this week that we'll talk about it. We'll just go from there.
Yeah.
Especially comics. We definitely got to talk about some comics. So yeah. If you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. If you listen longer than 30 seconds, you have helped the algorithm. You have boosted us in there. So that's how we're looking for, algorithm. Shout out to y'all with the Madonna reel that we posted. It got like 5K on IG, so that's pretty cool. So,
damn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all we got. Like I said, we'll see y'all guys next time. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
And we'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.